The old courageous woman, snaring her hands, contacted the heartstrings of the cool confronted Abaddon. Hi, I pursued the entire show with a moan of help. In episode 22, the depiction of a relationship is for sure a piece messy, yet this uncommon transformation of the first my ruler of Genoa is actually excessively great. I was unable to keep down. This soul of determination appears to make schoolmate Rangilan assume the fault. Since I completed the process of watching Mr. Liu Yi, every one of the subjects connected with Genoa have turned into the focal point of my consideration. Since individuals in Genoa appear to be like Mr. Liu, standoffish, cold and heartless, consistently connected with the Lord of Abaddon. Cheng Yi, played by Zhang Yuqin, the legend of this play, is no special case. Individuals gave him an epithet, the cool confronted Abaddon. Frankly, every time I see the male hero showing up on the screen, I can't resist the urge to bounce into the scene. I generally feel that the public super association has crossed the stage. However, when I return to my faculties, it is another attractive young fellow. Obviously, the exhibitions of the two have their own qualities and are not something very similar. It must be said that this job is truly appropriate for two individuals. Cheng Yi's prosperity lies in his battling scenes, as a matter of fact. In spite of the fact that he was simply signaling with the blade, his casing remained there and felt genuine. In the wake of watching the flood and finding it on the web, I figured out that Zhang Yuqin used to be a combative techniques understudy at the foundation of Chinese drama. No big surprise, his stance of holding the sword and the energy of pursuing it are all around estimated to kill the adversary. Cheng Yi was initially a chilly confronted young fellow who was not impacted by the world, however he incidentally fell into the stunt of Princess Cheng Yi, and afterward readily held hands with the princess to become old. At the point when Zhang Yuqin introduced the characters, he did in areas of strength for utilized methods, however depicted the characters with a lukewarm character, which is very new. The courageous woman, Princess Cheng Yi, played by Yuan Bingyan, is a person who is malevolent outwardly and great within, cool outwardly and hot within. She resembles the head body of the master in current culture, and she effectively contacted Cheng Yi's heartstrings. In spite of the fact that she is reputed to be oppressive and obstinate, just the people who genuinely love her grasp her responsiveness and weakness. Princess Cheng Yi, initially the oldest woman of the Hao family, ought to be educated, held, and follow the 3 submissions and 4 ethics. In any case, the pretended by Yuan Bingyan is a lively lady who thinks for even a second to cherish, try to despise, figures out uprightness, and doesn't grandstand. Her receptiveness appears to have components of current culture, which makes the crowd very eager. Haha. The benefits and weaknesses of the show represent half of it. To start with, we should discuss the benefits. This show wants to communicate. It takes on an extremely direct method for communicating the feelings of the legend and champion. There is no ridiculous misconception. In the wake of telling one another, they can communicate it strikingly. Albeit the most incredibly natural way is utilized embraces, kisses, and the legend appears in time, it is truly fulfilling. This might be the most hasty snapshot of affection. Obviously, the sensations of the people of your ought to be limited, and it ought to be quiet is superior to sound here, yet this is likewise the distinction between this show and other antiquated outfit loves. It simply needs to demonstrate the way that the people of old can likewise be frantic for affection. This is to some degree capricious. The striking exhibition of the legend and courageous woman made the crowd's adrenaline take off. Regardless of whether it is said to push CP effectively, it doesn't appear to be irritating. Besides, the characters of the champion and the courageous woman's lady friends are level-headed, and they don't deteriorate into senseless, wide and sweet love cerebrums when they experience love. They know the needs, and they likewise know how to forfeit themselves for other people. Hence, this level-headed approach to playing a game of cards is still in the possession of the crowd. Essentially, they actually show at least a bit of kindness of empathy for them. The burden is level and direct. The subject of the play is to feature the reliance and profound salvation of the legend and champion, so the mood ought to be straightened out a little, and afterward their sentiments can change, rather than falling head over heels subsequent to seeing each other multiple times. Albeit the straight line is likewise a change, it is excessively delicate and appears to erode the visibility of the actual plot. Obviously, it is said that this show has been cut altogether to a lot, so it is reasonable that a few spots can't be associated. It's simply that this sort of cutting strategy makes the show look significantly less intelligible, and its very awkward second, it's a piece disenchanting. The past plot is altogether too a lot, and the nearer it is as far as possible, it begins to write, it appears to be that it isn't the finish of the story, however the consequence of the occasion. This feeling of interwoven is a piece solid, so the honesty of the play is a piece hesitant. 02. 8 Dark Hawk Ventures on the 2-hour live transmission. Is Cheng Yi violated? It truly harms Cheng Yi to escape the circle by beating scenes. How merciless is the noxious clasp? Cheng Yi, who was hit by WebB, knows best that in 2020, Cheng Yi and Yuan Bingyan took part in the Lion Melody Club. However, what is unforeseen is that, in only 2 hours of live transmission, the legend Cheng Yi was straightforwardly admonished. There were 8 dark moving haunts, 2 of which were higher than the moving pursuits. Cheng Yi lost almost 100,000 fans inside a couple of hours. Various bloggers mixed to be quick to put the cap of bad quality and insolence for ladies on Cheng Yi's head, and, surprisingly, spread bits of gossip that Yuan Bingyan had decried by him. Assuming you just gander at these flowing gifs, it appears to be that it is truly what they said, yet is it actually that basic? The purported Cheng Yi's detachment of Yuan Bingyan, the truth of the matter is that the overseer of Liuli was planning to go in front of an audience around then, and Cheng Yi, who was remaining in the C position, was watching the chief and was prepared to clear a path for him whenever, the most generally flowed one, the moving image of Cheng Yi being pushed near Yuan Bingyan is really on the grounds that Cheng Yi was looking somewhere else and didn't see the space involved on the stage. The purported compelling Yuan Bingyan to cry is significantly more rubbish. The motivation behind why Yuan Bingyan shed tears around then was on the grounds that she was communicating her hesitance for the characters in the play. Nonetheless, after such a live transmission, Cheng Yi was named as a harasser, with the goal that he was generally mindful in the ensuing live transmissions. Utilize various personalities to decipher the parts in the play. Be that as it may, some netizens think he is a piece careless. A few seconds ago somebody said that you said careless. Cheng Yi quickly terrified when he heard it. Let me say 2 more. This humbleness truly causes numerous Cheng Yi fans to feel upset. It very well may be seen that he is truly scared of being uncovered by the web. In any case, any rich lady on Cheng Yi's rundown won't become famous at this point. In 2020, some netizens let it be known that Cheng Yi had went with the spouse of a confidential steel big shot to supper. To demonstrate what he said was valid, the netizen likewise took a screen capture of the visit. It very well may be obviously seen from the image that this rich lady said gladly that she would welcome the whole group to supper, and that Cheng Yi would pick the spot to eat by name. Not long after this post was distributed, endless netizens who eat melons, Cheng Yi has likewise turned into a delicate confronted kid with a delicate face according to the rest of the world. In any case, assuming you take a gander at these visit records, you will observe that the spouse of this rich lady is in the talked bunch. For what reason did he become famous now, rather than to make reference to that he was made things troublesome by the chief before he became well known? Luckily, Cheng Yi, who would not concede rout, didn't surrender. He just had faith in the rule that the moronic bird flies first, lastly raced to the hot hunt in 2018 with a scene where he was beaten. Every one of the sticks on his body were shot progressively, so his difficult responses in the play all come from the real world. In any case, it is additionally Cheng Yi's thinking for even a second to soul that caused him to become famous on the web. However, to discuss Cheng Yi's most lucky thing, you need to specify his eternal fellowship with Yang Zi. Yang Zi has been concealing her way of life as a rich person for a long time, yet Cheng Yi offered it in one sentence. At the point when Cheng Yi was asked which companion in the circle would help, assuming he really wanted 600,000 yuan earnestly, he addressed Yang Zi's name decisively. It is notable that Cheng Yi and Yang Zi have a decent relationship. To safeguard Yang Zi during recording, Cheng Yi made it a point to his own hand. The chief as an afterthought hastily booed and concurred with one another. It is easy to see these two individuals how great the relationship is. More worth focusing on that when Yang Zi was helping out different entertainers, he was whined about being excessively weighty. In spite of the fact that Yang Zi couldn't have cared less about it on a superficial level, how is it that there could be young ladies who wouldn't answer things like this? Be that as it may, when Cheng Yi was taking photos of the princess embrace with Yang Zi, he straightforwardly embraced her without any problem. Contrasted to those male entertainers who are genuinely feeble and disdain the entertainer to an extreme, Cheng Yi's methodology is truly noble, yet he not simply a calm attractive man. In the goodies delivered by the authority Chen Xiang Razun, Cheng Yi's exhibition nearly made the jaws of netizens drop. It just so happens, he is the most bouncing around and uproarious individual in the entire team. Also, Cheng Yi will be moved by screenwriters every now and then. Full stop.